Hey everybody, my name is Ethen Ostroff. I am an injury lawyer outside of the Philadelphia area, and today we're going to be diving into what is a no-fault or fault state. This is a really tricky area of the law, commonly misunderstood. It has to do actually with car crashes, and it doesn't really have to do with fault. But before we dive into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow along where I'm going to make sure that your future personal injury case is protected, because nobody ever thinks of themselves as a future plaintiff in a lawsuit. I want to make sure that you are not taken advantage by insurance companies and that you understand the law well enough that you don't put yourself behind the 8 ball if you need to file a personal injury case or to hire an injury lawyer. So, what is fault/no fault state? What it has to do with is actually your medical bills. So I'm going to give you 2 different states, and then we're going to go from there. So Illinois, Pennsylvania. Illinois is a fault state. Pennsylvania is a no-fault state. Now, let me dive into the exact situation, same facts in 2 different states and how it affects your case and your medical bills. So in state 1, in Illinois, so let's say that you're driving into an intersection. You're approaching what you think is a green light, and then another driver comes in the opposite direction, and they think they have the yellow light. So you both collide right in the middle of the intersection. You both break your arm and your leg. Everybody gets hurt. Both drivers of both vehicles get hurt. Now, in a fault state, what happens and who pays for those medical bills? Well, in Illinois, what the insurance companies get to do is if liability is not clear, then it is not obvious as to when and who pays for your medical bills. So you get out of your car and you say, that was your fault. The other driver gets out and they say, that was your fault. And then insurance companies get the opportunity in a fault state to say, you pay for it. No, you pay for it. Your fault, your fault. And guess who gets stuck with the bill? You do. So while it sounds counterintuitive, living in a no-fault state is actually a great thing. Because what happens is, let's take that same scenario and let's go through another intersection in Pennsylvania. And let's say you're going through, you think and know you have the green, the other driver thinks and knows they have the yellow, they go through, boom, you collide again. Everybody gets hurt. Same thing. And let's say that you want to go to the emergency room, but you're not sure how you're going to pay for that ambulance, how you're going to pay for those bills. In a no-fault state, you get your first certain amount of money. In Pennsylvania, the minimum is $5,000 available to you in a use it or lose it insurance benefit that goes directly towards your medical bills. So, for example, you need to get in an ambulance. You need to get some sort of physical therapy. You need to get checked out. You need an x-ray. You need all these things done that cost money. Your own insurance company pays for it. You submit it to your own insurance company through something called PIP, or personal injury protection. Personal injury protection is a first-party medical benefit that is a benefit in a no-fault state. So instead of insurance companies getting the ability to point at each other and say, no, you pay for it, no, you pay for it, you actually just call up your own insurance company and say, I got banged up, I need this stuff paid for, and then they will pay for it. So what I would recommend, though, is go to an injury lawyer, because that injury lawyer will make sure that an insurance company doesn't take advantage of you. And when you think you're getting your PIP payment, they actually send you a settlement payment. They say, oh, sign here. And guess what? Now your personal injury case is washed because they made you sign away your injury case. And you didn't even realize it. So it is really important to talk to an injury lawyer. If you get in a car crash and you do get hurt and you're not sure whether you're at fault or not, because it's a no harm analysis, and you're going to make sure that you don't sign away your potential settlement, and you'll get that PIP benefit that you deserve in that state that's a no-fault state. So the basics, no-fault state. You get hurt in a car crash, regardless of whose fault it is, your own insurance company will pay for it. In a fault state, The other insurance company who is at fault pays for your medical benefits. So if liability is contested, which happens all the time other than in like a rear end crash, then guess what? You're going to be probably footing that bill. It's not a fun situation. If you have the ability to opt in for first party medical benefits, even if you are in a fault state, I recommend you do it so you don't get stuck in a situation where you need to get treatment and you can't afford it. But in this situation, fault state, no fault state, the most important thing is that you get the treatment you need because it is paid for in a use it or lose it benefit through your own insurance company. Now, that's the difference between a fault state, no fault state. That is defining what PIP means, personal injury protection. Hopefully you are never going through something like this, but if you are, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along where I'll make sure you understand what's going on. And God forbid you got in a car crash, click below for a free case evaluation. I or a member of my team will hop on the phone with you as soon as you call and make sure all your questions are answered. Thanks so much. Have a great day.